Yeah, this is Up Front and Direct with Mo Gilly. I'm going to talk about this Tyreek Hill situation. He got pulled over on Sunday, right before the football game. He was, this man was driving without no seatbelt. I think he was speeding. And these Cuban police officers down there in Miami Gardens, they pulled him over and they was talking to him all crazy. And then Tyreek Hill was talking to the police officers all crazy. And one of the Cuban police officers grabbed him out the car and put handcuffs on him. And the police officer was being way too aggressive. But, those Cubans are very anti-black racists. A lot of Hispanics come over here and practice anti-black racism because they're very insecure about their race. They strive to be white. They want to be white, but they are not accepted in white circles. So in order to get brownie points to be, even considered white or be a white supremacist, they got to, treat black people a certain way. And that's what this Cuban immigrant police officer did. So there go your black and brown coalition. There go your Kamala Harris open border situation. This is what you get. So, but back to Tyreek Hill, they put him in handcuffs and, Tyreek Hill should have been driving around without no seatbelt on and speeding. I don't know what's going on with this dude, but this dude think he's above the law. And this is what happens when you do stupid stuff. It is a racial thing, but Tyreek Hill, he could have talked to police officers a little better than what he did. He was that entitled $100 million contract he got. These athletes don't understand that we live in a system of white supremacy. And no matter how much millions of dollars you got, they still going to treat you just like a thug, a black person that's a thug. They always do that to black people. Look at Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, people who got money, they still put them in jail. They don't care about that. It's a lot of black people that feel like they got a lot of money and think they can transcend white supremacy. It don't work like that. So Tyreek Hill got his Negro wake-up call, and this man was on the ground talking to his agent, some other white dude, another white supremacist that just gets money off of black athletes. I'm like, don't you know this dude, his name is Drew Rosenhaus. Do you know this dude, Drew Rosenhaus, don't care about you, man? He got his money off of you. He signed Tyreek Hill signed some contract. I think it's like some $100 million or something like that. I know Drew Rosenhaus got at least 20 or 30, 40% of that. So he got a couple million off of him. I'm like, this dude don't care about you, Tyreek Hill. I don't know these black athletes don't understand white supremacy. Like I just said, these white people only care about them as cash cows, basically, to get some money off of them. These agents, these coaches, all these people that's hanging around these black athletes, they just look at them as a cash cow. Look at them as an ATM, a bank. That's all they are. And these athletes need to realize that we live in a system of white supremacy, that money doesn't transcend white supremacy. They still treat you like you a thug. Don't care about how much money you got. And he was talking about, what if I wasn't Tyreek Hill? They didn't care if you was Tyreek Hill in the first place. These Cuban police officers didn't care about you being no Tyreek Hill. What the hell you being Tyreek Hill got to do with anything? You ain't nobody, man. You just a $100 million slave to play for the Miami Dolphins. Come on, man. Talking about what if I wasn't Tyreek Hill. Those Cuban cops don't care about you. They showed you they don't care about you. They showed you they didn't care about you playing for no Miami Dolphins. What the hell? These people need to wake up, man. And Tyreek Hill, he need to wake up. I don't know what life he living in, what type of situation he's got going on in his head. I don't understand what's wrong with Tyreek Hill. Why these people don't understand we live in a system of white supremacy, man? Because that money that you get and all these non-black women around you, they only around you for some money. They don't care about you. Oh my God, these people really kind of tick me off. So I don't understand it, man. I understand why these dudes don't think we live in a system of white supremacy. He thinking he can ride around with no seatbelt on. What you think is gonna happen, man? You giving these police officers a reason to mess with you, man. Why are you doing that? He could have killed himself riding around without no seatbelt. What's wrong with him? I think he was riding around in some type of Lamborghini, Ferrari. I don't know what type of car it was. It was black. It had the suicide doors on it. I'm like, dude, you spending all your money on these cars, man. What you gonna do 10 years from now? You can't play football forever. He gonna be broke. Why are you riding around a car like that, man? And especially in Miami. Come on, man. Ugh, these dudes don't understand, man. Oh, God. I'm not a Tyreek Hill fan. This dude, he's always in trouble with the law. He's always doing something stupid. I'm like, dude, man, you got to understand we live in a system of white supremacy, dude. You got to wake up and play your part, man, and just go to the game and do what you got to do and go back home, man. Don't put no attention on yourself. Don't draw too much attention to yourself. But he got his Negro wake-up call. And, that police officer there dragged him out the car, threw him on the ground. That Cuban police officer, he need to be fired. They need to check some of these guys' background. I mean, one of the dudes had tattoos all on his hand. He might be in some type of Cuban gang, some type of, cartel gang or something down there in Miami, moving drugs in the police department or something. You never know what's going on. But, this your black and brown coalition. These dudes talking to Tyreek Hill like he a slave on a plantation. These people are Cuban. These people are not white. I don't know why they want to act like they're white. They want to strive to be white, but they will never be white. So I don't know why they want to sit there and attack black folks and try to talk to black people like any kind of way, because a lot of Hispanics do that. A lot of Mexicans, a lot of Venezuelans, El Salvadorians, Cubans, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, they're always talking to black people in some kind of way, very disrespectful. And we the reason why you're over here in this country, because if it weren't for black people, it wouldn't be United States. You'd still be in your third world country. And these people come over here with all kind of hostility towards black people. The way they was talking to Tyreek Hill, both of them was in the wrong for the way they was talking to each other. It could have been de-escalated, but Tyreek Hill didn't have no business driving around and without no seatbelt on and whatever else he was doing, speed and all that stuff. He needs to do better, man. Like I said earlier, don't draw attention to yourself. Just if he had a seatbelt on, he wouldn't speed or nothing like that, because it's very dangerous. You know, one of those cars, man, that's very fast, and I know that car is probably fast, and you can't be speeding like that, man, because you mess around, lose control of the wheel before you even get to the game, and you end up crashing out. You're not gonna make it to the game. So a lot of these athletes, man, they got to get their Negro wake-up call. They got to understand we live in a system of white supremacy. And even though these Cubans are not white, they want to be a part of the white supremacist group. They want to act like white supremacists. They want to be white supremacists. So, yeah, they want to be considered white. So, hey, that's what they do. All of them do that. All these immigrant groups that become police officers, the Asians, the East Indians, the Hispanics, they all want to, join the police so they can mess with black people and get away with it. Take that anger out and hostility on black people and get away with it. But the officer, he do need to be fired. They shouldn't have threw him out the car like that. Then they try to put some handcuffs on two other black NFL players. One guy, his name is Calais Cameron. This dude is 6'8". So what these Cuban police officers gonna do to a 6'8" black dude? This dude's like 6'8", 6'9". This dude is tall and big. So what you gonna do to him? There was another tight end named Jonnu Smith that was out there. He was like 6'2", 6'3", but this other dude's 6'8". So what your Cuban immigrant self gonna do with a 6'8" dude, defensive lineman, 300 pounds almost? What you gonna do to him? You can't rough him up like you roughed up Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill is a little dude. He like 5'10". This dude's 6'8". How you gonna rough him up? This dude can probably choke slam you. Well, like I said, yeah, Tyreek Hill got his Negro wake-up call, and he need to understand we live in a system of white supremacy, and that don't draw too much attention to yourself, man. You're already in one of these fancy cars. People going to be looking at him. Police going to be, have a spotlight on him. So it is what it is. But, that police officer, he do need to be fired. And that police precinct, they need to be looked at. Probably some corruption going on. Probably some drugs going on in there. It's a lot of police corruption going on in the United States. And need to be looked at. But it's been Mo Gilly. We're up, Felon Direct in the house.